It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Let's get out of here. Aye. Looking to support this ministry? Donation links are always in the description box below. Hello everybody, it's Brother Aaron from Golden Minute. There's Christy driving. Crazy, watch out, there's a bomb behind us. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that's what's going on a little bit right now. Okay, so, you know what sells is chaos. Chaos sells, and there's a lot of channels out there. We're talking about Israel. We're talking about the Rapture on this channel. We don't actually talk about Israel a whole lot on this channel, but we're talking about the Rapture and eschatology. And there's a lot of channels that sell. Hype sells, and chaos sells. And let me give you an example. Shark attacks, right? Shark attacks are not that common, but when they were reported, people go, oh man, I'm not going there, I'm not swimming there, there's a shark attack. Meanwhile, there's 5 million people that swim in the ocean, and one guy gets a shark attack, and all of a sudden we got this big news event, breaking news. So the thing with Israel is, I remember back in 2002, when I went to college, we would listen to the world news on the BBC News, and there was always every day a report of some bomb being thrown over the fence with Gaza or Hezbollah or Iran and Israel. Always something going on. There's always something going on, so we're always going to have news about Israel because that's people's jobs. There's literally people have channels that are called Israel News 365 days a year, and they're going to report on something. And so we just need to have a balance on what we're reading and seeing, knowing that the incentive of some of these channels is to financially make money off news. So, yes, things are heating up. Yes, the military is on high alert. Yes, the U.S. is supporting them. Yes, the Hezbollah guy was killed. But we don't want to overdo it to the point where we are emotionally stressed out. Because we're going to hear stuff. You can plug into Israel every day of the year and you're going to hear somebody killing somebody, like some bomb going over the fence. It's always going to be there. And so we do need to look at Israel as a hinge point of timing, but also understand that this has been happening for everybody that's watching this video right now. There has been chaos for the last 80 years in Israel. There's always a bomb being tossed over the fence. There's always military movement. There will always be military movement from this day on until the rapture. There's always going to be some sort of a military campaign going in either direction. So just stay grounded when you watch the Israel stuff. So what do I expect for things to happen in Israel up until the rapture? I believe when I read the Bible that Israel will be not protected in the first 3.5 years of the tribulation. And so I believe that the rapture happens and then she gets really beat up. And I think that, well, we already know, it's not a thinking, we already know that 2/3 will die. And we know that Jerusalem, or Israel, I should say Israel, is protected for the last 3.5 years of the tribulation. So most of this action and death, I believe, is likely to happen in the beginning, in the first 3.5 years. So I believe it's rapture first, then a lot of heat and death and blood in the first half of the tribulation. Then she escapes to the wilderness at the abomination of desolation, which is a man saying that he's God in the temple or the holy place. And that is around the midpoint. So what do we expect, and how do we watch Israel? Because ultimately we're waiting for the rapture, and how do we use Israel as a bit of a timepiece? What do we expect to see? I just expect to see more daily news of some guy bombing somebody, some building getting bombed, and that's it. And I expect more military movement, because that's what has happened for the last 80 years. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I expect more escalation. I expect more heat on Israel. I think that rapture happens, and then uh-oh for Israel after the rapture. Bad news. So things will continue to escalate. Now, the 9th of Av is around the corner. Something could happen on the 9th of Av, because historically the first and the second temple were destroyed on the 9th of Av. So I'm sure something will happen militarily on that day. But We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so, but the thing that I want to tell this Rapture community is, yes, watch Israel, but don't get so consumed with it. Watching, because like I said, going back to the shark attack thing, 5 million people swim in the ocean. Maybe you get one shark attack out of 5 million or whatever. I don't know what the odds are. But there's a lot of good things going on too. There's still a lot of people traveling and just as tourists and things of that nature. I know some flights were canceled, but that's always happening. There's always flights being canceled and then they start up again and a couple days later, right? So don't get so over sensationalized that you're so frozen and paralyzed by the news in Israel. This is very normal what you're hearing. Actually, Christy was saying that there's a place called Rocket City. Is that right?
In Israel? Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, Rocket City. Why? Because there's always rockets flying over in the sky. It's a very common thing for Israel. So don't over sensationalize it. Don't over emotionalize the news. Again, like I said, there are channels that are they get financial payment to 365 days a year to say something bad. A car got bombed, a bike got whatever, a guy got whatever, somebody got stabbed. This is part of the news. News sells, chaos sells. Normal stuff doesn't sell. If somebody said, hey, 250,000 people in Israel had a sandwich at the park today, nobody cares. They're not going to tell you about those things. They're just going to tell you about that one car that blew up.
Fear sells.
Yeah. Fear sells. So stay grounded. I know we're close. I know we're in the season in general. But just because one car got blown up doesn't mean that the rapture is happening within minutes or hours. You guys are going to we're all going to get burnt out if you think that the rapture is happening because one car got blown up or one bike got shot or one bomb or, right? We're going to get burnt out. So yes, we're in the season, but we're going to see stuff on a daily basis in Israel militarily. It's just going to continue to happen. But don't think it's just we're going to get raptured because of this one little thing here, one little thing there. And I'm not saying that it's little. I'm just saying ground yourself. Ground ourselves as viewers, as watch people. Know that these channels and news networks get money to tell you something bad just happened. This just in, a bomb right behind me. Is there a car behind me? That house just blew up. Guys, my goodness, the smoke, the rubble. Oh my goodness, let's get the cameras on this, right? All right, I think you guys get the point. I do think that we are in the season for sure. Just balance yourself, stay stable in watching with what's going on in Israel. Okay? Israeli News 365. I'll be back in 5 hours to make sure you guys get the latest update. Bye.